This is the CALPADS new authentication system update for May 2026 and beyond. As announced in CALPADS Flash 319, Phase 1 of the transition to the new CALPADS authentication system will be complete on May 1st, 2026. Users who did not obtain a new username and password during the transition window will not be able to log into CALPADS and must work with their LEA's CALPADS administrator to establish access. As of May 1st and going forward, LEA CALPADS administrators are responsible for creating accounts and managing user access for their LEAs. Any LEA administrators who neglected to create a new user account must submit a service request to the CDE to regain access. What can we expect from the May 1st update? There will be no new accounts created in Legacy. The old functionality used to create accounts in CALPADS will be forever replaced. Admin users must first search for an existing account before being able to add a new user. During the transition, there was an Add New User tab. This is now removed. Admins can find any account that exists in the system, but only modify accounts associated with their org. They can find legacy accounts and assign new usernames. They can also find new usernames and associate those accounts to their org. Okay, starting May 1st, this is what you would see when you attempt to log into CALPADS. The dual login screen is gone. All we have is the single login here. And if you've created your username and password, it's quite simple. You use your new username and you sign in after entering your password. We see the same terms and conditions that was displayed during the transition. You click accept. And here's the CalPADS home screen. I'm in the staging environment. LEA admins have access to the admin module and they can go to user management. And you can see that there's only two tabs, user list and user roles. You can still generate a list of users from the user extract, but we only have two tabs. The user roles is unchanged from legacy CalPADS. You can search every user by their role. You can filter the roles, or if you leave each highlighted as the default, you can see every user with a specific role, and those roles are in alphabetical order. This functionality has not changed in many years. Now, if you want to search for a user, you can use a name search or email search. So you can see I looked for our trainer, Marshall Isbell, here at CSIS. I can see his email address and his new username. If I wanted to assign him to my organization, I would just simply click Edit, Assign Org. This is similar functionality to Legacy. And then I'd save my changes. Now Marshall has an account with ABC Unified. So let's search for a new user. We have Fresh Newbie. We'll do a name search. And you can see after executing the search, add a new user is prompted. So if you have a new user, you always have to search for them by name or email address. Let's add the new user. So after we've populated all the required fields, we click add a new user. All right, so the message says the user profile is saved. We're going to make sure they have a roles. Save and close. So now they're associated to our LEA. And that's that, right? Fresh Newbie has an account. Now, Fresh Newbie's point of view, right? They should have received an email. So on the user's end, you created a new account. It's here, and they have a password, right? So they should be able to log in using these new credentials. So let's simulate that. So the new user would have to go to CalPADS, sign in for the very first time by clicking sign in. They're going to have this option to sign in here. And so that username that was created by their LEA admin, they're going to enter freshNewbie@calpads.org. The temporary password from their email, the same one that had their username, they just paste it right in. Click sign in, and then here you see the update your password prompt. Temporary password is the current password. Then they create their new password. And once they enter their new password, they have access to the login screen. They click the agreement, and here you can see they have access. I am Fresh Newbie. And Fresh Newbie does not have access to user management. It's up to your CalPADS LEA administrators to manage the accounts for users going forward as of May 1st, 2026. We're back on the user management screen, and let's look at another scenario. What if we have a user who never converted their account, right? Here is a former colleague of mine, MJ Vincent. You can see she used to be employed at CSIS by the email address, and she does not have a new username. So I've clicked edit, and because she has an existing account in CalPADS under the legacy system, but no new username, the activate button is here. I clicked activate as the LEA admin, and I'm still choosing her username. MJ Vincent at calpads.org. I click activate. The username was successfully created, and she would have gotten an email. She would complete the same steps after I assign her to a new org as the new user account. However, we're not going to save that information. It was just for a demonstration. And then the last thing I would like to review is the request user extract. So let's click the request user extract button. We'll go to extracts by clicking the hyperlink. Here we are on the extract screen, and we'll just wait a moment for the extract to generate. So once we download and retrieve our extract, it will be an Excel spreadsheet like this. And you want to go to data, highlight the entire first column by clicking A. Then you go to text to columns and follow the wizard. We're going to set the delimiter by clicking Shift and 6 at the same time. That will give us the caret. We're going to slide all the way to the right and then hold Shift while you click the last cell. That highlights each cell. And I guess this isn't strictly necessary. This is more a habit. And then I click Finish. And now you can just separate the columns so that they're easier to examine. All right, so let's go through the columns, right? You can see the first name and the last name of your users. And here we have the new account we created, Fresh Newbie. And you see the email address associated to that account. And then you can see the username, right? So every username that has calpads.org is a new account or a converted account. If there is no Kyron Master K account here, right? Or Ritesh Kumar account, they have not converted their accounts. They do not have access to CalPADS as of May 1st. Very important. So if someone doesn't have access to CalPADS, you can download the extract and verify if they've created themselves a new account. If not, you as the LEA admin will have to do that. And then information of their last login is still here. So you can see here, Summer has created herself a new account. However, her last login was using her legacy credentials. So you can see that the new account is established because there's a new username, but the last login was legacy. That's how you would use the extract to manage your users after May 1st. So the last thing I want to make sure that I mention is that if you're an LEA admin and you do not have a new username, you will have to submit a service request to CALPADS to get access. And so you can't log into CALPADS. You don't have access through service request down here. What I would recommend is Googling, or if you have bookmarked the CALPADS user manual, access the CALPADS user manual. Here's the home screen. Scroll down to the bottom, click Help. If you have an LEA admin account, you will need the CDE to help you regain access to CALPADS. So enter your username, your CALPADS account, your legacy account information, the district or districts or LEAs that you need access to. Make sure that you include all the pertinent information in the description. All right, good luck going forward.